this time, y'all receive him. Everybody stand up real quick. Amen. We're going to give him a praise. We're going to give God a praise for this young man coming that's going to give us this message, this brief message on today. Amen. Come on and put your hands together for Minister Davion at this time. Amen. Amen. Young man that's well able to speak for himself. Come on, we can do better than that. Yeah, come on, you're worried about it here. He's going to be a singing program. That's what some folks say. We're going to get this word and I say that.
And all of God's people say amen. Amen. Certainly the Lord is good. He's great and greatly to be praised. If you're glad to be at church on this rainy Sunday evening, just come on and give God a great big hand. To the wonderful pastor of this church, Pastor Jones, to Sister Jones, to any preachers who have gathered here, to my great friend and brother, Elder Cantrell, and to all of you, my father's children, to the saved and the unsaved, it's another day's journey, and I'm indeed glad about it. This is yet another day the Lord has afforded us to be in the sanctuary and not the cemetery. And since we are in the sanctuary, I just believe we all not act like we're in the mortuary. Must give great gratitude, great thanks, great appreciation to Elder Durr for this humbling invitation to come and share in this wonderful occasion. I say to you, Cantrell, congratulations, and we pray blessings on you on your new assignment. Amen. Amen. Just give me just a few minutes of your time. Come with me to the Gospel according to Mark. Mark chapter 2. Very familiar passage of Scripture. Mark chapter 2. Reading verse number 3. Mark chapter 2. Reading verse number 3. If you haven't, say amen. Amen. Verse 3 reads, and they come unto him, bringing one sick of the palsy, which was carried by 4. For the time that is ours, look at your neighbor to the left and to the right, say, neighbor, for the year 2020, be careful who's in your crew. Be careful. My brothers and sisters, Mark describes and depicts in his gospel that not only is Jesus the Son of God, but he's also the Son of Man. And here we are in chapter 2. We see a man who was paralyzed. He couldn't move. He was confined to a bed. And I think it's safe to say, Pastor Jones, that he was not healed so much from his bed, but from his misery. That this man couldn't do what others were doing. He couldn't go out and hang out with the guys. He couldn't even do for himself. So it really wasn't him being paralyzed. The overall fact was he was miserable. The fact is that there are many people that park these pews Sunday after Sunday, young and old, that are miserable. And you can't see it because we all dressed up and looking all good, but deep down inside, there are some people sitting to the left and the right of you that are miserable. Yeah, you may not know it, but deep down inside, life has presented them with some situations and circumstances to where the only thing they could do is just deal with it. You can't get out of it, you can't escape it, and in return, life has left you miserable. Because the fact is, brothers and sisters, when you're paralyzed, it means that you're stuck in a situation to where you can't go any further than where you currently are now. When you're paralyzed, yeah, you want to move, but because you got something going on internally, it's affecting you externally. And church right now that are paralyzed. You want it to be better. You want to grow. You want things to be different, but you just can't seem to get it together. In return, it makes you miserable. And Jesus heals this man not only from his bed, but from his miserable state. That's right. Jesus tells this man to take up his bed and walk because, brother, I want you to carry what's been carrying you. I want you to carry it to show that I can work a miracle even in your misery. To show that no matter how bad things can get, I can still turn things around. And I know this man can't be the only one in here today that can testify that there are some seasons in your life where you thought it would never get better. You thought that God had forgotten all about you. You decided to just lay there in your misery. You decided to give up, give in, and give out. But out of nowhere, just when you least expected it, God turned things around. I know there's got to be at least 5 folk, and I'll make number 6, that can just have a flashback and look over this year and realize how you was broke, busted, and disgusted. But out of nowhere, the Lord still paid your bill. You still had food on the table. You still had top gas in your tank. You ought to thank God that no matter what, He still turned things around. Tell your neighbor He turned things around. Yeah, you can sit there and act all bougie if you want to, but I know what God has done for me in my life, and I dare not sit here and act like the Lord ain't done nothing for me. You ought to tell the Lord, thank you for turning things around. Pastor, He turned this around for this brother, but the question is, how in the world did this paralyzed man get to Jesus? The text says he was carried by 4. There was 4 of his peers who were tired of seeing him live in misery. When they heard Jesus was in town, they said, we got to get our friend to Jesus. And you need to be careful of people in your crew today who are satisfied and content with seeing you live in the same old miserable situation. You need some people in your crew who get tired of seeing you live like that and say, I need to get my friend some help, that believe that no matter what you're going through, they have faith to believe that God can still turn things around. You don't need folk who are comfortable with letting you live in that same old dead situation and don't even believe and have faith that God has more in store for your life. The truth of the matter is, there are some people in here right now that you got some people in your crew that don't want you to grow. They don't want you to get better. They don't want you to succeed in life because they want to keep you at the same level that they're used to. They don't want you to get to the point to where you're doing better than they are. And you need to do what Jesus had to do sometime. He had to let some folk go, and you got to get to a point where you let some folk go. If you ain't here to help me, if you don't want to see me grow, if you don't want to see me succeed, I got to let you go. And since I'm parked here, let me just say this. You need to be careful of people in your crew who say stuff like, don't forget where you come from. No, I didn't forget where I come from. I just can't stay where I started. And people have a bad habit of trying to keep you where you started, not knowing that God has more in store for my life. And if you can't handle where God is getting ready to take me, adios amigos, arrivederci, bye-bye, deuces, see you later. I love you, but I got to go. I'm done. I'm done. Good evening. But Pastor Jones, it was 2 kinds of people he had to eliminate out of his crew. The first group of people he had to eliminate was the people who just sat by the bed. Ain't it funny how folk carry you to Christ. But then there's a second group of people. The second group of people that he had to eliminate were folk who was just like him. Cantrell, he couldn't hook up with 4 paralyzed guys just so he could fit in. And I think I ought to ask you, are you running with the same people who are in the same dysfunction you're in, just so you can make your dysfunction look normal? See, those people are good to hang out with comfort, but if they can't help carry you, they will only be good for a little while. It's good to have comfort in your life, but you also need growth. And if they can't help you grow, they need to be dismissed. You need some determined friends in your life that say, no matter what, come hell or high water, we gonna do everything we got to do to see you get better, to see you succeed, to see you grow, that we don't care if we have to tear the roof off the place. We not gonna get discouraged. We gonna do what we got to do to see our friend get better. Brothers and sisters, yes, it's good to have friends to pray for you. But sometimes they need to put some feet to their prayers and do something. Tell your neighbor they gotta do something. So that's all I come to ask you. Who's in your crew? As you go into this new year, be careful of the folk that's in your crew. And I hear some of the young adults say, Davion, after you put it like that, I may not have no one in my crew. Well, I like to beg to differ. Because there is one friend. Did I tell you about that friend? I'll bid you good day. This friend was the beginning before there ever was a beginning. He stepped into nothing and created something. Created the heavens and the earth. This is the man that gave the dog its bark, the meow in the cat, the moo in the cow. This is the one that created man and named him Adam. Saw that Adam was lonely, put him in a deep sleep, reached in his side, pulled out a rib, named a woman and called her Eve. Do you know who I'm talking about? This is the same man who turned the whole sea into a sidewalk and allowed the children of Israel to pass right on through. This is the one who went into a fiery furnace and brought 3 Hebrew boys out with no hurt. Now, ask your neighbor, do you know who we're talking about? This is the one who decided to make his grand appearance on earth. He pulled off divinity, put on humanity, would be born of a virgin named Mary. And he was born in a little town called Bethlehem. And y'all know his name, Jesus, the one who saved your soul, the one who made you whole. Just look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, you may not have any friends, but I want to tell you there is one friend that will stick close to you than a brother ever will. Say, neighbor, I know a friend that will stick close with me. He walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me that I am his own. Can I get a witness in here? Say yeah. Say yeah. I'm going to my seat, but can you do me just one favor? Do you mind doing me one favor? And I'll bid you good day. Get you a neighbor, hold their hand real tight, hold it real firm, and say, neighbor, I just realized that I need to be careful of who's in my crew. But say, neighbor, I realize I still got one friend that will never leave me nor forsake me. Say, neighbor, as I look back over my life and see all this friend has done for me, say, neighbor, I got to shout, I got to praise him. Ask your neighbor, will you help me shout one time?
that neighbor too bougie. Get your one more neighbor. Get your one more neighbor. Put your arms around them. Rock them and shake them. Shake them and rock them. Rock them and shake them. And say, neighbor, this friend has been good to me. Say, neighbor, I'm about to shout. I'm about to praise him. Cause I know what he's done for me. Say, will you help me shout? Y'all know what I'm gonna do. I'ma count down from 10. When I get to 1, you just let out your shout. Are you ready? Ask your neighbor, are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Look at your neighbor, say, get ready. Get ready, get ready. 4, 3, 2, 1. Say yeah. God's been good to you. He's made a way where there seemed to be no way. He blessed you. Even when folk wrote you off, he turned things around. Say yeah. Say yeah.